frequently get asked, what's a day in the life? What do you do, and how do you stay on top of half a dozen companies? And so Sven said we should just shoot like a vlog and kind of get a summary of what a normal day is like. Busy day.
What are we doing today?
So I'm meeting with a former business partner. We still work together on stuff, and we are going to talk about the next project. So we're both interested in business acquisitions. So we're having lunch at Between the Trees to talk about the criteria. What kind of business are we looking for? What kind of economics make sense? What would that partnership look like? See if we can make some money and create some value together. Was this a 90-minute call with Dan?
It was. I left early because I had lunch.
Yeah.
It's a long time
So
to spend.
what I heard him say, just for the record, is that lunch with me was more important than an afternoon with Dan Sullivan, which is pretty cool.
Wow. You flew to the Grand Canyon?
So flying over it is pretty tricky. They make you go way up high.
Really?
Because if you have an engine failure, there's no place to land, and search and rescue is going to take like 3 days to get to you.
So that they want you to be able to glide out?
Exactly.
Interesting.
Let me know if you want to go up.
Yeah.
I'm going up. I've got a plane for 2 hours this Friday. If you're free,
Really?
come join me.
But you were talking about the different ventures that you were in and how you were able to be involved in multiple things. I said, that's what I want to be. That's where I want to get to.
So first, I know you know this, but I'll kind of make the case for business acquisitions. You and I have both started several companies, and starting a company is really hard. Yeah, it takes a lot of effort. Usually takes a lot of time. You can't borrow money to start a business typically. Now maybe you can pledge other assets, but so you have no leverage. It's hard to hire great people to a brand new startup that has no track record. It's really hard. Acquiring a business, number one, banks will throw money at you. It's easy to borrow and therefore gain leverage to buy an established business. Typically, an established business is either already profitable or can easily be made to become profitable. Typically already has people and leaders in place, and if they're good leaders, great. And if they're not, you can replace them, but it's easier to attract people. And then what's really fun is if you can buy a business at a lower multiple, say 3 to 5 EBITDA, and then you either grow it or you acquire other similar companies and you roll them up. Now, instead of a 3 to 5x multiple, you can sell them at a 7 to 8x multiple because bigger firms will be willing to buy it and they have deep pockets and they pay higher multiples. So you can take, much like flipping a house, you can take a good business, turn it into a great business, double its value in a few years, have a lot of fun while doing it, and make a lot of money on the exit. And if you do the tax structure right with like a 1202B, you can get all of those capital gains tax-free. And if the 1202B doesn't work out, there are ways to do like a opportunity zone, OZ, and anyway.
Thank you so much.
A seller and a buyer, because you were selling these as two solutions. Cool. Thanks, appreciate it. Yeah.
Yep, see ya.
So next steps for this possible project would be, number one, we're going to meet with a potential operator that I know that I've been wanting to hire for a while, commit those salary dollars and say, find a business that you think we should buy, run due diligence, and if we actually buy it, then we'll put you in to operate it. You'll already know everything about it, having gone through due diligence. Obviously, other steps are going to be figuring out the capital structure. How are we going to finance this purchase? We could do it with cash, debt that's backed by securities and investments that we have, backed by real estate. We should have a great loan called the 7A. Anyway, several interesting ideas, interesting stuff. So I think it was a good meeting.
Hello,
Hi, Pat. Tim Joyner. How are you, sir?
Tim Joyner. What's going on?
It's been a long time. Hope you're well.
It has been. Yeah, I'm doing fine. How are you?
Not too bad. Are you still working on Pettigrew?
I still own the building. I still have an office there, but I'm retired.
Are you really? I saw when I was driving by the other day that there's at least some space for lease there. Is that still the case?
It is. Yeah, the second floor is available.
For a number of reasons, I'm interested in potentially repositioning. I'll go in and take some pictures and talk to a partner and see if it's something that we might want to look at again.
Sure. What you're up to these days?
I'm involved in half a dozen things. Probably the thing you'd find most interesting is a business called Impact Avalanche. I help entrepreneurs and other business leaders grow not so much their corporate brand like I used to do in the ad business, but their personal brand. So kind of like, guys like you and I have met people over coffee or breakfast or dinner or whatever for years and tried to create value and help them think new thoughts and meet new people and solve ideas, solve problems and whatever. And so I help people do that at scale through social media. So
How many kids you got now?
3. So I think you probably met Zach. He's my oldest. We adopted him when he was 7, and he is now 19. Has just finished his freshman year in college. And
Where's he
then
in school?
he's at Bob Jones.
Okay.
And then I've got a 10-year-old boy and an 8-year-old girl.
So this is the first office I ever leased. Before this, I was operating out of my living room. I would have my whole team come every Friday, and we'd work together in my living room. Otherwise, we would all work remote. This was long before remote work was popular, but we were doing remote work because I didn't have anywhere to have in-person work. And eventually, I leased the second floor of this building. So first of all, we just leased one small office space, and then I took over another, and then another, and I added a conference room, and as people would move out of individual offices, I would take it, and eventually had the whole second floor to this. So come on, let's go inside and check it out. Sven, you've heard me talk about how we upgraded the client experience.
Yes.
It's a little bit hard for people to find and know where to go, and so we would put a stake sign right here for every client that we custom printed. It would say, Truthhold Creative welcomes Sam Smith, and it would have a picture of stairs, like a side view of stairs with an arrow pointed up because we're about to go in and up the stairs. We would also put one in the parking area, like reserve a parking spot for Sam Smith. And then when you get inside, there'd be a TV with Sam Smith's name and logo on the screen, and we would welcome him. And we really tried to make it a great client experience. But I learned all of that and put it into practice here in this office. I had learned from Dan Sullivan and Strategic Coach about the no office solution that said you shouldn't hole up in an office. That's where entrepreneurs go to do low value work and to hide. And he said you need to be in the middle of everything, preferably not have a desk at all. Well, I wasn't ready to go that radical, but I did put my desk right here with my back to the window so I could see everything. People could come up to me, talk to me, and it was easy for me to see clients coming and going. So I have my desk right here. We have a big L-shaped desk over here that a couple of developers worked at. We had another L-shaped desk back here in the corner that a couple of developers worked at. All these spaces were occupied.
Oh, this is cool.
This is a really cool.
I like the open top. Yeah.
So most of these were occupied, but we leased this room for the conference room. So I laid this floor. I hired a high school friend of mine who was out of work at the time, and the two of us laid this floor and painted this room. For time, we expanded to that. Then we took over this space, which was, we just kept taking over spaces. This was the very first office building that I leased and eventually had the whole floor.
Wow.
Some local trainer reached out on LinkedIn, had a pretty compelling pitch, offered a free 90-minute session to experience it. And I thought, well, what do I have to lose? If nothing else, I'll learn something and I'll get a good workout for 90 minutes, and maybe I'll discover what I've been missing this whole time. So anyway, I am off to the gym to meet a trainer for the first time, and he told me that I have to eat a cup of strawberries on my way to the gym. So here goes.
Hey, Jess.
Hey Johnny, how are you?
I'm good. Hey, welcome back to vacation. Let's talk about lawsuits.
What a great welcome back, right?
I know, really.
Hey, I've only got a couple of minutes. I'm supposed to be somewhere here at the top of the hour, but I thought I'd at least get started. So did you ever get served on this lawsuit?
Bonded. I don't know. I've never heard of a liability insurance not covering something like a dog bite or like a,
No, that was a nasty surprise. The key word is the existence of a canine. If there's a canine that exists on the property, it's coverage is null and void. So like you're on your own. So it's crazy. I mean, I don't own the dog. I didn't rent to the person who owned the dog. I didn't authorize the dog to be on my property or its owner, but somehow I'm liable. It's nuts.
All right, thoughts?
Well, it shouldn't have been hard because it wasn't that heavy, all the things they put up there. But it was pretty hard.
Yeah?
It's pretty hard. I paid for 90 days because I figured if I only paid for a week, I'd come for a week and then I would find excuses and reasons to not continue because I'd be busy and I wouldn't have the time. And if I paid for a month, I'm not convinced that I would have enough results to convince me to keep going. I don't really think I'm going to know. I don't think I'm going to have enough information to make a decision until 3 months anyway, and so I might as well pay for the 3 months and be all in, and then I'll give it a fair shake. And at the end of 90 days, if I'm like, this isn't worth the time and the money, then I'll quit with no guilt, and I'll just make the call. And if it's
amazing, then I'll renew.
Hey Doug,
Yeah.
hope you're doing well. Period. New paragraph. I got sued by someone who was trespassing on one of my rental properties. Period. He was bitten by a dog that was owned by someone else who was trespassing on my property. Period. I don't see how I have any liability at all, comma, but I got served just the same. Period. Have any recommendations for someone who could write a letter and maybe make this go away? Question mark. Thanks in advance for your help! Exclamation point. So I'm a big believer in developing new capabilities. I love investing not just money, but also time. So it takes time to learn a new skill, but just like compound interest in money, it pays off for the rest of your life. So for example, I've worked really hard to develop the capability of dictating to my phone. So I'm in pretty heavy traffic right now. I just sent an extended text to my attorney that was a couple paragraphs long, and I dictated it all with punctuation and new paragraph marks and the whole nine. And I would have had to stop and pull over and take, by the time I got off the interstate and back on, it would have been a 10-minute commitment, but I did it in 30 seconds hands-free while I was driving. I do a lot of things with voice, and it feels really awkward at first because you do it wrong, or you can't think fast enough, or you say stupid things and then you have to go back, and it's really awkward and potentially embarrassing in the beginning. But just like anything else, you get better at it with practice, and over time I built that capability, and now it pays off like every single day. So I always run navigation even when I know how to get there, and I always have voice prompts turned on so that I don't have to give a single clock cycle to navigating. I'm thinking about something else, and then when it comes on and says in half a mile turn right, I look up and I say, oh, that's my exit, and it just frees up brain space to do more important, more valuable things. So even though I could get here, even though I know where I'm going, I'm absolutely going to run nav so that I can think about more important things.
How do you actually use your thinking time well? Do you have to prep it, or do you just always are solving problems? Or
So that's another capability that I think I have developed over time. I remember the very first time I tried strategic planning as like a formal exercise. I went to a really nice place where I, free of clutter and free of distraction, and I took a legal pad and I blocked off, I think, half a day. And it was massively uncomfortable. Like, I thought, what in the world am I supposed, I'm gonna think for 4 hours? Like, this is crazy. Now I love those sessions. I crave them. They're so valuable and comfortable and natural, but it wasn't always that way. It's the same way with how I use time when I'm driving or when I'm flying, not when I'm actually the pilot, because so far that takes all of my available brain space because it's really hard. But when I'm flying as a passenger in an aircraft, I'm always usually making good use of that time. And it's a discipline that I've created, a capability. So yeah, I almost always have some sort of a problem that I'm trying to solve, or a goal that I'm trying to achieve, or sometimes I'm just figuring out what is the next step, or what is the next hill that I want to conquer, or the next goal that I want to list or attain. Okay, so I'm about to start a call with Jocelyn. It's my daily check-in. She is my full-time assistant, works out of the Philippines, super smart, really organized and responsible. She's got an MBA. She's taught business at the collegiate level, so she is, not just like a secretary that types up things for me or something. Like, she's a essential part of the operation. So I meet with her typically once a day. She manages all my email, all of my calendar, a lot of communication, a lot of research. She manages projects and often delegates stuff to other people on the team. So she's a critical part of the organization. Cool story. I just got back 3 days ago from a 2-week trip out west with my family, during which I did not check my email once. Part of that's because of you, Sven. Part of that's because of Jocelyn. I've also got a number of partners that filled the gap and other people that were running interference. But thanks to a great team, I did not check email or voicemail or call the office or have any meetings or anything for, I think it was 16 days, something like that. This is the first big check-in since I've been gone for 2 weeks. So she's going to run me through all of the emails that need my attention that she wasn't able to handle or other team members weren't. She'll run me through upcoming meetings and prepare me for stuff that I need to do. She'll give me status reports on various projects and things that have been moving in my absence. So anyway, here goes. Hey Jocelyn, how are you?
I'm good.
Good to see you.
How are
It's been a while. So you are a part of almost every day, and so I thought we ought to capture at least some of this meeting and show people how I stay on top of stuff, or how you stay on top of stuff and I get credit for it. That's kind of more like how it works.
For tomorrow, we are meeting with Scott. Should I add a reminder that you should watch the whiteboard video together?
Yes, please. Have we had any further communication with Bushra?
Yeah, I already also emailed Nico, and he said he cannot do it on his end as well.
Okay, all right, perfect.
Yeah.
Thanks. Next.
Okay, next one. Cynthia emailed asking, so we sent the Impact Avalanche invoice for Scott, for Elias, and then Cynthia was asking about the ACH payment.
You can get
I
that.
have
Yeah, if you have it, go ahead and send it. Otherwise, get it from Sven.
Okay, got it.
Anything else in that thread, or is that the final email?
Yeah, that's the final email.
Okay. And what's the date on that one? Sometime when I was gone, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's table that one for tomorrow or Thursday when I'm going to be at a desk and I can look at it. I don't think it's urgent.
Okay, next one. There are LinkedIn messages. First one from Matthew.
You can set that up, Jocelyn. Say I think that I put this on the agenda to talk about Thursday, but happy to start scheduling the call now if you want. Here's some options. Okay. All right, Sven, thanks.